Welcome to the Core Women Podcast, the place for women entrepreneurs, authors, and self-starters looking to build community and gain valuable insights through expert interviews with women at the top of their game. Join your host, podcaster, producer, expert coach, entrepreneur, and author, Dr. Summer Watson, as she aims to inspire and empower you through these candid conversations. Lean in and embrace the journey. It's time to start the show. Here's your host, Dr. Summer Watson.
Welcome to the Core Women Podcast, where we spotlight the voices of women shaping leadership through passion, purpose, and impact. I'm your host, Dr. Summer Watson, and today I'm joined by Val Roskens Tews, a content strategy writer, author, and the creator of The Butterfly Strategy. Val believes in the quiet power of kindness and the ripple effects that small, thoughtful actions can create when we show up online with intention. In this conversation, we will talk about visibility, connection, and how building meaningful relationships online doesn't have to feel stressful or performative. Let's get right into this and welcome Val.
Thank you, Summer. I'm so excited to be here and talking with you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, it is a pleasure. I always love talking with you. I so enjoy getting to know you over the years. And so I'm excited to do this with you. So before we dive into your professional journey and what you've created, if you could describe your life to this point in one word, what would that word be and why?
The first word that comes to mind is grateful. And the reason I say that is because no matter what has happened, whether it's good or bad, I'm grateful for my faith. I'm grateful that God has been with me. I'm grateful for the friends I have met. Being on LinkedIn has been a big part of that. And there's always something to be grateful for. Like the world now is it's scary. And I have found that doing a gratitude journal at night, just listing things I'm grateful for with the scripture verse, has helped me tremendously to go, yes, it's scary, it's awful, but there's still good in the world and there's still good people, and to look for that.
I love that, Val. Now, I'd love to start with your story. What experiences led you to believe so deeply in the quiet power of kindness and thoughtful connection, especially in the online world?
Well, where I live is in a very rural area, so in-person networking is not in an abundance unless I want to travel a great distance. And so for me, learning how to navigate Zoom, one of the few things I think that was good out of COVID was people are now online. I have met incredible people because we can do it online. We can have that virtual conversation. And I have met people that I never would have met because where I live, there aren't those in-person networking opportunities. And so it's allowed me to make what I call business friends. And some of those business friends have turned into personal friends. And it's a way to connect with people no matter where you live. And that's, to me, what's so neat is because, like, I've met you. We don't live close. Chances of us meeting in person, hopefully someday, yes. But right now, I'm thousands of miles away from you. I have met people on the West Coast, the East Coast, in the Midwest. I've met people in Europe. I've met people in England. I mean, all over the world. And that is, to me, is so fascinating and so exciting. It's a whole new world
Yes.
that I didn't expect. And it's because I was willing to start having conversations with people. And like I said, figure out how to do Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only have you had conversations, but you're a great writer. You've learned how to quietly connect in such a kind way. I'm just going to put this out there. Ever since I've known you, you have just been so giving and so kind, and you're so supportive of so many online. It is just so refreshing to see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Val, because what you do is meaningful. It's intentional. It absolutely takes time. I know how much time you put into it. That kindness, that support, that connection that you're cultivating is significant, and we need more of that in the world. So thank you for doing it.
Well, thank you for your kind words. I truly appreciate that. I think one thing that has helped me is there was a time in my life that was not good, and I was constantly humiliated and told I was worthless, and my self-confidence was absolutely zero. And it was a really dark time for me. And when I got through that, I went, I'm going to do my best to make sure nobody ever feels, at least when they're with me, that they feel that way. And I don't always do it, but try to build people up to be kind, because I know it's horrible when you're not, when
Yeah.
somebody is not being kind to you. And it's just been my goal, my intention to try to help people feel better when they're with me or when they talk to me or after they leave, because I know what it's like when it's not. That's a horrible feeling. I don't want anyone to feel that way when they're talking to me. So it kind of came out of a dark place, but I think that dark place can bring in the light, and you share that light with others.
Well, that's beautiful. And that is exactly what I see you doing online. And I thank you again for that. So you created something called the butterfly strategy, which is such a beautiful metaphor. Can you walk us through what that means and how this idea came to life for you?
Kind of came to life, one, because my company is called Butterfly Copywriting. The short version of that is in March of 2018, my dad very unexpectedly died from a brain bleed. And we were able to say goodbye, but he was airlifted, and within 24 hours, he was gone. Fast forward to September of that same year, my granddaughter was born. So it was like life ended, life began again. She has twin brothers who are 2.5 years older than her. And we were outside. It was a nice fall day. And I was holding her. Her brothers were playing in the yard. I was watching them. And this beautiful monarch butterfly came and literally came right by her face as if it was giving her a kiss. And then it
Mm.
flew up into the tree. And through the sunlight coming through the trees, the butterfly stayed there for a few more minutes. And then it flew away. And my first thought was, that's my dad telling me this is good. The baby is good. The kids are good. There's still good in the world. There's still hope. And then I was taking the boys for a walk later that afternoon, and in an empty lot on a dandelion was, I think, that same butterfly, that same monarch. And it sat on the flower long enough for me to take a picture.
Mm.
And so that's how I created Butterfly Copywriting, because I believe my dad's message to me to say, there's still good in the world. There's still hope. Be that light. Be that hope. So the butterfly then metaphor came to be very important to me. And what I found when I was helping people with their content, writing content for them for LinkedIn, was they weren't connecting with people. They weren't talking to people. They were just posting. And then they wondered why nothing was happening. And so the butterfly strategy kind of grew out. Well, okay, so the body is the connecting, and then each wing is commenting and content. But you needed all the strategic combination of all three in order to create a community of business friends, collaborators, if you're an author, readers, clients. And the reason I say business friends first is because they're the ones you can encourage and support, and who in turn will encourage and support you. Most of them won't be clients, but they can be valuable resources. They can be referral sources, someone to bounce ideas off of when you have this brilliant idea, need someone, to talk through it. And they can amplify your voice. They can be a friend. If you don't focus on clients, but focus on business friends, friends know, like, and trust you. And that's what you're trying to build. But you need to build the community before the content. Yes, you need the content, but the content comes after you've made those connections.
Yeah.
Start with commenting. And then the content is so that you meet somebody, they're going to look on your page to see who you are, what you believe, what your values are.
Absolutely.
So I took the butterfly metaphor because that butterfly is very important to me. And it's like, how could we put them together? And the butterfly is also a symbol of transformation, because you start the caterpillars in this cocoon. It's dark. You don't know what's going on until the transformation is complete. And that's the same with people. Get to know the person. The platform's made for people to connect.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times it can be intimidating. When I started LinkedIn years ago, at least looked at LinkedIn, oh gosh, and that had to be a couple of decades ago, I felt like I can't be on that platform. It's so stuffy, it's so rigid. And it has changed so much over the years where it has become a platform where you can make friends, you can have more than just connections. You can take those people that you meet and nurture those business friendships, as you say. And that's kind of what we've done over the years. And I've done that with many people, and you are a great example of that. I seen you do that all the time. You live what you say, and you see it, you feel it. You're absolutely right. It's an opportunity to invest in others.
Yes.
And guess what naturally and organically happens? They invest in you.
Yes.
And that investment is as you said, it may not be that they're hiring you for your particular service, and sometimes they do, but they're co-collaborators. They're people that you bounce ideas off of. They're folks that are referral sources, especially referral sources, because folks in the direct messages are constantly saying, "Hey, I know somebody. I know somebody who might need this." So that investment is so organic and it's so meaningful. You've done such a great job of creating that butterfly strategy. So you put this all in a book for everybody.
I did. First, I created a guide.
Okay.
I was creating that for a conference last year. And I went, hey, you know what? I was talking to Jessica Anderson, and she is a brand book coach. And I kept thinking, God, I'd like to work with her, but I don't have anything to say. As I was putting this guide together, I went, that can be my book. And the butterfly strategy was born. And as I was sharing it, I'm sure some of you've heard this too, that oh, this is basic. No, everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. And I thought, well, okay, so everybody knows it, but I'm still going to write it. One thing that I have learned and that I've tried to help other people with is if you share from your heart, share what your story is, what your message is, someone needs to hear that. This is so important that everybody has a story to tell. Everybody has a message to share. And when you don't share that, someone is missing out on a transformation. And I have learned that as I've helped people. Like one person said to me, okay, now that you've written my article, are you going to fix it? I said, what do you mean? Am I going to fix it? She goes, clean it up and fix the grammar and make it sound good. And I said, your message is you. That's perfect the way it is. She goes, you mean I can share it just as I am? I said, absolutely. I said, this is who you are. I'm not putting my voice into it. I want to share your words. Someone just the other day described it this way to me. You take the messiness and create the message in writing. Oh, I love that. Because sometimes people have scattered ideas or they have a message, but they don't know how to share it. It's like, talk to me. I'll organize your thoughts and put it into writing because someone needs to hear what you have to say. They're waiting for a transformation and it can only come from you. And that's why I guess I'm so passionate about helping people shine through writing is because everybody can help someone else, but you have to share it. And I also realize not everybody likes to write. I love to write. That's my passion. And it has been since I was a little girl in second grade when my teacher introduced me to storytelling. Ever since then, I've known I wanted to be a writer.
Oh, wow, Val. I love that. And regarding part of that message that you just spoke about relating to everybody already knows this. I'm out in the world and I work with so many business owners. I was just at a chamber meeting the other day and I was listening to somebody give a talk. And she said something that I thought, wow, that's simplistic, but it resonated with so many of the women. They're nodding their head. They were saying yes. Oh my gosh, I go through this. So it's relatable. And yet people aren't putting that in writing. They're not talking about it necessarily, or people are suffering in silence and they need to know, how do I fix this or how do I do better? And one thing that resonates with so many people is the struggle to talk about themselves, even online, especially those who spend their careers helping others, which is amazing, right? You help others, but you can't talk about yourself. So why do you think so many people hold back from sharing their own voice?
Because I'm one of them, because I love to highlight other people. Talk about myself? No, thank you. I want to be behind the scenes 100%. And I think it's because people start self-sabotaging. They self-edit. They just think, oh, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And I know you found this too. When you talk to somebody and they're sharing their story, they're just talking to you like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And they're like, no, it isn't. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And I have found that if you can tell your story to someone else, whoever it is, that person's going to be blessed. That person is going to go, that resonates. I need to hear more. And you're like, really? I just thought everybody knew that. Or I don't want to talk about myself because people aren't interested. It's like, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. And again, it comes back to the butterfly. That's a transformation. And if we have a kindness transformation, can you imagine how much better our world will be? And it starts with connecting one-on-one with people, just listening, letting that person feel seen, heard, and valued. Just like you want to be that way, talk to the other person the same way. And it's just not worrying about, oh, what's it going to look like? If you share from your heart, you're going to help someone else.
Well, you just answered my next question. You talk about online visibility as a ripple effect rather than a loud marketing strategy. I mean, really, you just answered that question. How can people build trust and opportunity simply through thoughtful engagement and conversation?
A lot of times, in fact, almost all the time, if you make a comment, this is how most of my business friendships have started on LinkedIn, with a comment. You comment on someone's post or they comment on yours, you respond back, and you keep going. I have met so many incredible people, and I can say it started with a comment that led to a conversation, which many times led to a relationship, which created this business friendship. And in some cases, personal friendships. And in a few cases, I've got to meet them in person,
Mm.
which has been the best. And the thing is, you go meet somebody that you've been talking to online, that you have developed this business friendship with, and you meet them for the first time. And it's like, oh, we've always known each other.
Yeah.
I know the first time I went to meet somebody in person that I had met online, my husband went with me because I'm very directionally challenged. So he's like, you aren't going to find this place. And I'm like, you're probably right. Will you go with me? And he's like, so we're traveling. In this case, it was 5 hours away. I didn't realize it was so far,
Wow.
but it was going from Iowa to Minnesota. And I said, oh, yeah, no problem. Because I was thinking when I used to live in Minnesota, it was only like 3 hours. So I'm not the same distance. Well, it wasn't. But anyway, so he's taking me to this place. On the way, he goes, do you know this person? I said, well, he goes, have you met this person before? Are we meeting? You already know her? I said, no, but I'm going to meet her for the first time. And he's like, we're traveling how far to meet somebody you've never met in person before? I said, I'm going to meet her in person for the first time. I said, but I've been talking to her. And ever since then, when we do go meet somebody in person, I said, oh, it's a LinkedIn friend. I'm going to meet him in person. He's like, okay.
Yes, it's amazing how you can take online folks that you meet and take it offline.
Absolutely.
I've done it so many times. It's so amazing. And you know a lot of these people that I've done this with, and it is just fantastic when you can do it. One of these people, I'm going to give a shout out to Jen. You know Jen. So
Mhm.
we've done the same thing. We were introduced by, I'm going to give a shout out to Lauren Barton. We were introduced by Lauren. We got to talking immediately, fast friends. Like, boom. We scheduled like a short introduction talk, and it was like an hour and a half later. Here we are still talking. It was just so meaningful, so wonderful to have this friendship that when we did meet in person, we were like, hey, how's it going? Oh my gosh, hug. It wasn't like, oh my God, I get to meet you. No, it was like we knew each other for so long.
Exactly, exactly. And I can give you an example too with Claudia Wyatt.
Yes, Claudia.
Claudia commented on my post. I was reading hers. I'm like, wow, this is a cool person. I really want to get to know her. Commented on hers. We started going back and forth. We got on a coffee chat. And as I was looking, I realized she lives in the town next to the town where I grew up.
Wow.
And at the time, several years ago, my mom was still alive. So when I came home to stay with her, I called Claudia and I said, hey, I'm in Bettendorf. You're in Davenport. Let's meet at Whitey's Ice Cream. It's an ice
Ah,
cream store. So we've met several times
ah,
because I found out you're only 3 hours away from me. And when my mom was still alive, every time I'd come home, I'd say, Claudia, you want to go out for ice cream or go out for supper or whatever?
ah.
And like the last two times we've been there, my mom is sadly no longer alive, but I still have connections in that town. And like this year and last year, we went home for 90th birthday parties for neighbors and said, Claudia, I'm coming into town. What are you doing? But it started with a comment on a post.
It's that simple.
It is. And if you find a post that resonates with you,
Yes.
get to know that person. Start commenting, ask to have a coffee chat. Most of them are, within the half hour to an hour. There have been a few where the 15-minute coffee chat has 3 hours later. Maybe we should a couple times. That's not the norm. It's like somebody's like, I don't want to have a coffee chat with you. No, that's not the norm. But I mean, most of the time it's 15 to 30 minutes for the first one. But when you click with somebody, and if you had told me before COVID that I would say I would have friends that I have never met in person before, I'd say you're crazy. You can't know somebody without meeting them in person. But I'm here to say I have met some incredible people, and I will say I have some of my closest friends I have not met in person.
Right? It is
Yep.
amazing. Same with Jen and I. Like we are just so connected and so close because of an introduction. It's amazing how friendships can evolve and develop in different ways. And one of those ways is online and through LinkedIn. So your work centers around the 3 C's framework. Can you share what those transformation superpowers are and how they help people build authentic communities online?
Yep. Connecting, commenting, and content creation. And it starts with connecting and commenting. So find people you want to be with, find people you want to know. It could be that there's a skill you want to learn. Like I've met people because, like, for example, I wanted to learn networking. Okay, I found somebody, Wendy Cavity, who was really good at that. I got to know her. We became friends because we connected. We got on a coffee chat, we hit it off, and we connected and kept following each other. Find people you want to connect with, that you want to get to know. Comment. It starts with a comment. If you have to choose between commenting and posting, I'd say comment. And the reason I say that is because when you comment, you're letting that other person know, I see you, I hear you, I value you. I'm taking time to share my thoughts with what you said in your post. And people notice when you comment. Commenting is the way to start a conversation. Commenting is the way to get connected. And then, yes, your content is very important, but if you don't have community, then who's going to be looking at your content?
Boom. That's a mic drop.
And that's kind of how this whole butterfly strategy book started, was as I was helping people with their content, then they were like, but nobody's looking at it. Nobody's commenting. Why not? It's not working. You didn't do your job. Okay. Did you respond to comments on your page? Did you comment on other people's pages? Did you get to know other people? Are you creating a community? And people are like, what? What do you mean? No. One person told me, oh, I just post and ghost.
Oh,
I'm like, well, okay, may I make a suggestion?
yeah. Oh my goodness. Post and ghost. Wow.
Yeah, I've had a number of people say to me, I have to respond to comments. If you want to grow your community, the whole purpose of the platform is to connect with people,
Yeah.
not to drive sales, not to do conversions, not to find leads.
Right.
Yes, you need those things for a business. I'm not saying that it's important for a business, but you need to connect with people. And everybody knows this, people do business with people. That's not me saying that's not new. Everybody's heard that, but stop and think what that means.
Right.
It means you have to get to know people, start a conversation, make a comment. Okay, so here's my tip that helped me tremendously is when I first got on LinkedIn a few years ago, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know anybody. I'm a nobody. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. What am I going to put? And it's like, you need to be commenting. You need to be on LinkedIn. I'm like, what am I going to do? And so what I did to psych myself out, if I found a post that I could resonate with, that I liked what they said, I pretended that person was already a friend.
Hmm.
And I commented as if that person was a friend of mine. What would I say to that friend? And that helped me so much. And the neat thing is, some of those people became friends.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that tip. You beat me again to my last question. Val, as we come to the close of the interview, and we've covered so much, my last question is, you can think of another tip. My last question is for someone who feels nervous about posting or putting themselves out there. You just answered the question, but I know you have another one in you. What is one small step they can take this week to start sharing their message with more confidence and less stress?
Okay, be a friend, share from your heart. And if posting is really hard for you, then go comment. Find 2 people, find 5 people, 10 people. If that's too much, find 1 person, comment on their post. Your comment could become a content. And when I say comment, don't just say great post, thanks for sharing. Make it a thoughtful comment. Somewhere I heard like 15 words that helps the algorithm. I don't know about that. One thing that I've done is I will take like a sentence or a phrase that they've said and copy and paste that into my comment and say, this is gold and this is why.
Mm-hmm.
Say something that they've said, tell them what you resonate with if you need an idea for a comment, so that you're not just saying congratulations or thanks for sharing or that's great. Say why you liked what they wrote. Okay, that's my second one. Pretend they're a friend, make a thoughtful comment, and share from your heart. Be generous. I do not believe you can ever go wrong if you share from your heart, you're kind, you're generous, and you serve others. So how could you make somebody stay? How could you help somebody? What's a way to be kind? You find one way to do it for that day, there's more kindness in the world.
I love that. Thank you, Val, for joining me on the Core Women podcast today.
Thank you so much, Summer. You are a delight, and I admire you immensely. And I'm so grateful that you were one of the first people that I connected with when I got active on LinkedIn, and appreciate you so much. You are such a blessing to so many people, and I have learned so much from you, but I have been blessed so much by you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Val. Thank you for your kindness, and thank you for being out there on social media, on LinkedIn, spreading that joy and that kindness. Thank you so much. You can connect with Val Roskens Tews on LinkedIn and at butterflycopywriting.com and at valroskentees.com. And you can find her book on Amazon. Go check out her website, and you can find a link there as well.
Thank you for joining us on the Core Women podcast with Dr. Summer Watson. We're so glad you're here and would love to connect more with you. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Core Women, and on Twitter at Core Women 1. For more about Core Women and Dr. Watson, visit corewomen.com. Want more support and resources for amazing women like you? Great! Join Dr. Watson and Jen Fontanilla at the Life, Love, and Money Collective, a Core Women production that aids in understanding the key traits that might be getting in the way of living a life that you are absolutely passionate about. Connect with Summer and Jen and find out more at thelifeloveandmoney.com.